You're listening to the Untrapped podcast. And now, your host, Keith Kalfas.
Guys, if you need help being more organized and being perceived as a professional to your clients and prospective customers, then you got to check out Jobber. Jobber is an awesome software that you can run your entire service business on. You can create invoices, quotes, estimates, work orders. It integrates with your calendar. You can collect money. You can run your whole business on Jobber and grow with it as well. Get your 14-day free trial of Jobber at keithkalfas.com/Jobber. I use Jobber in my business and it's awesome.
Recording? All right, I just had this epiphany. I got to share this with you. I'm out of breath because I just got down from a ladder trimming these huge shrubs. And this crazy thing is when the sun is beating on you and you're dripping in sweat and you're like in a state of pain, just forcing yourself through it, that's when these epiphanies come to me. Pain equals inspiration, and that's why it's important to get out of your comfort zone. But this is my first commercial property that fired me. Huge learning lesson. It took me all these years, and it just hit me just now, that I've been wrong all this time. I literally just slammed an entire Gatorade in like 2 seconds. Okay. You are very fond, and you're so thankful, and you have so much gratitude for those customers that hired you in the beginning when you were getting your business off the ground. You're so thankful that they gave you a chance when they could have hired somebody else. Because of them, you were able to get your bills paid, and you were able to get your business off the ground, right? No. It was because of you. It was because of your work ethic and your due diligence and your tenacity that you got your business off the ground, not them. Here was my epiphany. My first commercial property fired me after, I think I was there 2 or 3 years. I was there every week cutting the lawn, weed whipping, edging, putting preen down in the beds, pulling all the weeds, trimming all the shrubs, trimming all the trees, cleaning all the windows. My prices were so incredibly low that after all expenses, I think I was only making like $140 for the entire year. And I was traveling 4 cities away and 4 cities back because I was so excited and I felt like I was a success because I got my first commercial property. The bill for the entire year was like $1,450 that included putting mulch down. I was taking the price of mulch and adding $15 an hour for myself. I wasn't adding in any expense. I couldn't afford taxes and insurance and work comp and payroll and none of that stuff. So in retrospect, I was probably losing about $15,000 a year going in the negative in opportunity cost by literally doing this property for free, going there every single week. Now, didn't I just say a couple minutes ago that I was so incredibly thankful for that client who gave me a chance, who was so nice to me? All these years, I've always thought about that client and wondered what happened to that person. I'm like, man, I want to give that client a call. I really think these thoughts. This is interesting. I want to give that customer a call, say, I know that you don't really care, but I'm your old landscaper, and I want to let you know that my business worked out, and I became successful, and I have hundreds of clients now, and everything finally worked out. We got a house and all these things, and I want to say thank you so much for giving me that opportunity when I first started. And I know this is a random, out-of-the-blue phone call. Do you ever go around thinking of this crap in your head, telling yourself stories when you have moments of gratitude? And just genuinely thank this customer for giving me a chance. You know why that commercial property fired me? Because they said on the phone they felt like I was, to be fair, they sold and they had new ownership who reviewed the contract and everything that I was doing. They fired me because they said they felt like I was taking advantage of them and they didn't see or understand how they were paying me $1,450 for the entire year when all I was doing was maintaining. It was a whole condo complex. It had 20 units. A commercial property off of a main road. How just cutting the lawn and edging the garden beds and trimming all the shrubs and trimming all the trees and putting down preen and pulling all the weeds and laying down mulch and doing about, I don't know, at least 10 grand worth of work per year. how they didn't understand how that was costing them $1,400, and they felt like I was taking, and they felt like I was ripping them off, so they fired me. I was so crushed back then. I'm going to get back to what I want to really say to the client in a second. I was so crushed when that happened. I was hurt emotionally. I was like, this is so unfair. I'm killing myself. I'm going out here. I put my heart and soul into that property. I could literally tear up right now. I was so proud of myself. I put my heart and soul into that property. I tried so hard, and I made it look beautiful. I remember when the tenants would come outside, and they would come out and they would compliment me, and they'd say, oh my God, I've never seen somebody take so much attention to detail to this property. I love the way that you edge everything and go over every fine detail online. And I said, it's because I'm so thankful and I'm so passionate, and I want to make this look beautiful. I treat this property like it's my own. And then when they fired me, I was like, dude, I'm only making like $140 for the entire year. Here's where the epiphany came. My buddy Danny Fopp, he owns a sprinkler company. Real cool guy. I was on the phone venting to him about what I'm telling you a few years ago. And he goes, wait a second. You're all stressed out about this, Keith, but let me ask you a question. How much revenue and annual revenue do you actually do for this client? I said, well, about $1,450. He says, what? Why are we even having this conversation? You should have fired them a long time ago and just got rid of them. We do clients that spend $22,000 a year with us. If you had a client spending $15,000 to $22,000 a year, then you should be maybe a little stressful about making that client happy. And if they're firing you, that's a part of a chunk of your annual revenue. You're complaining about $1,450 and they're ripping you off. I was like, boom, mind blown. How much revenue does each client bring you on a yearly basis? Now, you should bend over backwards for your customers and do a beautiful job and care and have passion to take care of them, treat their properties like it's your own. You really care. You're in the service business. You should have an attitude of service and genuinely care. Because it reflects in everything that you do. But how much revenue is each client bringing you? After all the headache and frustration and the callbacks and every little thing that you do for them. You know, I called another buddy here where I live. He's got like a $1 million landscape business, and I call him once a year maybe for some quick mentorship. And he said something interesting to me. He's been in the business going on 30 years now. He said that his focus that he learned a long time ago is really seeking to sift out and find the really good clients and build an amazing clientele. The perfect clientele for you. So what I really want to do is I want to call back that customer and say, hey, I know that you remember me. This is Keith Kalfas. And I want to say all that work I did on the property back in the day for you, I'm not thankful. I want to say thank you for taking advantage of me. You know, like, even now that I say it, it sounds wrong. Like, it doesn't make it right. Man, I had so much anger. But after I talked it all out, because I was angry, I legitimately, before I made this video, I was literally about to call that customer randomly out of the blue, say, hey, this is Kelfish. Yeah, you took advantage of me. You knew exactly what you're doing. This is the part that you might not see. If you're in your first or second year of your business and you're not like a savant, if you don't understand why you're getting all these nitpicky customers that are cheap and taking advantage of you, you're not making any money, it's because these customers are smart. They know exactly who they're hiring. They were looking for you. They were looking for the Chuck in a truck. First guy just getting started with rust all over his pickup truck, who wasn't licensed or insured, who had the cheapest price possible. You get in where you fit in. They were looking for you. They were looking for you. They purposely called you instead of the big company at the top page of Google with the hundreds of positive reviews and all the lettered trucks with all the DOT numbers, because they knew that they're going to pay 4 or 5 times the amount of price, and they don't want to pay that. They hired the cheapest guy because it was you, and you weren't even aware that you're projecting that before you even thought of it. You've been projecting that. So what are you projecting? Because what you put out is what you're going to get back. Stanley Genetic told me to say what you put out is what you're going to get back. I've walked like 3 blocks away from the job site now. This is awesome. There's people probably staring out their windows at me. What's that guy doing? He must be famous. Maybe in landscaping. All right, so I think for just an experiment, I'm actually going to call that customer and tell them that, hey, thank you for taking advantage of me. So what I mean is, your brain, you've been telling yourself a lot of lies. Why would you be incredibly thankful for a whole bunch of people who are purposely trying to take advantage of you? This is like, what's that? Is it Stockholm Syndrome? There's one client specific, I'm not saying any names, who literally took advantage of me so bad that I probably took 5 years off of my lifespan stressing out being this client's total bitch for a long time. And you know what? The old rule, I won't go too far into this, is called let him be deceived who would be deceived. Cycle that in your head a few times. It'd be like the old Roman law. Let he be deceived who would be deceived. So that's what's casuistry. Casuistry is when, look it up on Wikipedia or the dictionary. It's when you're twisting things to your own formats and your own rules. You're creating a carefully woven lie. In that type of thinking, if somebody would be deceived by you, if they're not smart enough and they don't have the wisdom to govern themselves and govern their own boundaries and their own business, their own pricing, and if they let you bulldoze them and totally take advantage of them 100 times until forever, then let he be deceived who would be deceived. If he will let you take advantage of him, that's his bad, not yours. And in the world of business, which is a first stage adversarial exchange, what I mean by that is business is primarily adversarial. Your customers and your clients, like, it's kind of like you can say whatever you want to say as long as you have a smile on your face, correct?
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you, sir. So, I think you got the point. Later.
Is managing your marketing stealing time away from growing your business? Or even worse, stealing time away from your family? Enter Radius Bomb. Radius Bomb converts leads into sales 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Whether you're on vacation, at the office, or at home, it will be working for you non-stop. Take the power back from the big competitors. Turn your marketing campaign into a powerhouse. Radius Bomb was created so the small businesses like yours can grow fast. If you want to use hyper-targeting to market your service business, get your free demo of Radius Bomb now. Just go to keithkalfas.com/bomb. Yeah, you heard it. Go to keithkalfas.com/bomb.
Guys, you got to try Responsibid. Yes, Responsibid. This is a software that I'm plugging into the front of my website for the past 2 years now that literally closes jobs. Yes, it sells jobs for me on autopilot while you're out doing other jobs, sleeping, on vacation. I'm not kidding. This software called Responsibid, you plug it into the front of your website and a customer can get what's called an instant bid, right? And then they go in and now they can actually get pricing and get qualified. You can actually plug in little videos of yourself introducing yourself to the customer. It's a funnel. And then once they go through it, they can actually get on your calendar, sign a proposal, and be ready to do the work. And all you have to do is show up and do the work. I didn't even believe it until it actually happened to me and I got the software on my website, and now it's definitely part of my business. And I couldn't imagine being without it. So get your free trial of Responsibid today at keithkelfis.com/bid. keithkelfis.com/bid, BID.